Hello, everybody. Once again, let's talk about crypto. More specifically, this is now part of the series that I'm talking about crypto basics. Because something I learned when I was starting to get into crypto is it was really hard to find non-biased information. It's almost impossible to find non-biased information. But for certain things, we need it, right? Like I was not aware of things at first of the 4-year cycle or what it meant, or if we're in a bull market or a bear market, or what the hell is Bitcoin having. These are incredible basics that are easy to kind of lose track of or not know. I'm going to get in over time about what makes one crypto more volatile than the other. Why does it matter? Because there's some cases where, depending on the way you invest, you might want volatility. Typically, I don't. But there's been a few plays that's worked pretty well for me. And it's good to know these things. Or if you've listened to any influencer, they'll likely say things like, do your own research. But do you have any idea what the hell that means? Like, if we say, go do your own research right now, what are you going to do? Is it starting off with Google? If so, what are you going to type in? Right? So that is not today's message. Today, I'm going to go over the bull market. We're in one. And if you think that we're not, I'm sorry, by every little indicator, you're absolutely wrong. What you might mean is that we're not at the peak of the bull run, but that is a multi-day or week thing at the most. Because when the bull run is really going at its height, things will come up and go. There'll be one narrative that plays and one goes down and something comes up. And I'll get into all the nitty gritty of what that actually means. So if you've been around either for crypto in a while or really for this channel for a little while, then you might know some of this. I recommend staying to the end unless you think you're an expert on the bull run, because I'm going to throw in little tips of things that I'm doing at different times in the bull run. And who knows what the hell else is going to come up as we just sit here and talk together. So again, if you're new, welcome. If you enjoy this in any kind of way, hopefully you find it interesting and or useful, please subscribe below. You can always ring the little ding thing, the notification down below to let you know when I release more videos. Press the like button if you do so, and then feel free to share this to everyone and tell me what you think in the comments below at any point during this. So let's kind of just get into it. Bull market. What the hell is it? So we got the bull market and the bear market, and it's really just you're running with the bulls. Things are exciting. Crypto is going up. We are doing well overall. Does not mean every crypto is going to be up. Bear market is pretty much the polar opposite. Everything is down. And when you think everything's down, it's going to go lower. We are not in that phase. There are certain indicators that happen every roughly a 4-year cycle, the crypto cycle. And you can kind of pick any point to say where it starts because it just goes in a circle. So it doesn't really matter which point we choose. But most of us go with, or I think it's the easiest to talk about, is with Bitcoin halving. And this is simply right now, Bitcoin gets mined, right? How do you mine digital codes? Good to your own research, right? No, but when Bitcoin is created, it's done at a certain pace. And every 4 years, this is preset, will never change, but that rate that Bitcoin gets mined cuts in half. Hence Bitcoin halving. And this is where we usually indicate the beginning of really the bull run, but really the cycle in general. And this happened somewhat recently in April. And the easiest way to see this, go back, look at the charts, or when there was a bunch of social media and standard media talking about Bitcoin's going up. Celebrities talk about it. It's everywhere. Yeah, this was on purpose. This is part of market manipulation and just the start of the bull run that we're in now. So getting a little bit more into it. So everything wraps around Bitcoin. It really does. It is the savior of Bitcoin. It's I was going to say the best and worst thing. That's not really true, but it really is what leads the way for everything else. So even if you're not in any Bitcoin, like me, I don't own any Bitcoin, but I have to follow it because everything else, all of our altcoins, which is essentially everything that's not Bitcoin, they all follow what Bitcoin does to a certain extent. And these are things I can help out, teach a little bit more over time, but we need to understand Bitcoin before we understand fully what the bull market is, because it's what starts it. So I look at it as the Bitcoin halving is the beginning of the bull run. This is when attention comes into crypto. It greatly increases the amount of liquidity that comes in, the amount of people that buy anything starts to happen around the Bitcoin halving every cycle, which is why it's such a big deal. And then Bitcoin becomes more dominant, meaning Bitcoin ends up owning more percentage of the entire crypto market. Last time I looked, it was around 58%. It's called a Bitcoin dominance chart or graph or pie chart or percentage, whatever. And we'll get in a little bit more details in a little bit. But when that goes down for specific reasons talked about in a bit, we start what we call altcoin season, which is really when all of the coins that are not Bitcoin skyrocket overall. Be prepared because it's going to happen soon. You'll see a coin go up 60 to 250% in a day, people. And then you might see it drop down 60% in a day. Mass panic, fear. People buy it again. It goes up. And that's essentially what the bull run is. We are at the early stages of it. Actually, we're probably over around the halfway point, depending on your train of thought. We won't know who's right until the end anyway. But let's go. Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin dominance. I have a chart pulled up here. Let's see if we can look at it. And all right. So yeah, we have the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's at 58%. So right now it's telling us in the bull run, people still care more about Bitcoin than anything else. All right. Not a shocker. You're going to see more about Bitcoin in all media. Typically, we go to this next phase called altcoin season when Bitcoin drops down roughly to 45 to 48% most of the time. Again, it's something we can look at more when we switch over next time, meaning down the road, the next season, we can look back and see exactly how things are going. So, more about this bull run, or really the entire cycle is let's pull up another chart. So this one is relatively well known. If you've been researching crypto for a little while, you might have seen this. It's the Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle, and this could not be any more accurate. And this is going to be the whole cycle. You can see bull run means things are going up, and then it's still the bull run until we get down low to about here. And this is a bear market. Everything is low and awful. And depending on when you've been into crypto, whether it was in the last month or three, if you've been here for the last year or in here for the last cycle, you'll recognize more or less of this. Let's assume you are new the last 3 months to everything right now, and we don't know exactly where we are. We can get our best guesses based off of patterns. I think we're around this area right here, right at we'll call it the top of belief, bottom of thrill. Let's go a little bit. So the beginning of the bull market, Bitcoin halving, and everyone might say a little different, but I think that's usually Bitcoin halving is around here. There's a mix of hope and optimism because those who know that Bitcoin, after it does the halving and it gets its attention, usually within 6 to 18 months, I know that's a decent range. Everything else goes up. But the Bitcoin halving was in April of 2024. We are now, at the time of this recording, January of 25. Do the math. Fingers, count them. We're in the bull run. And we should see the peak of it expecting kind of soon. I think it's going to be in the next 2 months, starting between around March, and I think the peak's going to be around July. But there's a possibility it's a double top. Things crash down during the summer because it usually does, and then maybe come back up. That's for your own decision to see what you believe in, because why does it matter what you believe in? Well, it might depend on change your strategy a little bit. Meaning, if I think that it's going to end in July, I'm going to sell most of my coins before the beginning of summer. If I'm positive or confident there's going to be a double top and at the peak of the cycle is actually the end of 25 or even beginning 26, as some people think, then I would hold on to it a lot longer to get more of maximum gains. But I think we're here between Bitcoin halving is between Bitcoin hope and optimism. So the Bitcoin halving is here around hope and optimism. I think we're right around here, just at the, again, mid between belief and thrill. And if you look, you might not be able to see, but there's a lot of this up and downs because that's what's going to happen. People get excited, they buy coins, they see it go up. And then if you bought a coin cheaper, You're going to sell it, which brings it down, and we do this up and down cycle. And as more money, more liquidity comes in the market, more people get excited because they hear about it more. It's more on social media. More people start Googling and YouTubing it, and brings more people in, which brings the thrill. And then everyone is making money. In a bull run for a little while, almost everybody is going to be up. Obviously, not everybody, but the vast majority will be. And this is where greed takes over. And just the emotion of how much further are we going to go? That's this euphoria. And we're like, oh my God, this coin's going to go on forever. Bitcoin's going to hit $250,000. And then things start to sell off. And we get a little complacent. And it's sort of, are we going to go down further, or is it going to stay the same? And a lot of times, this would be like not really a double top would be coming back up here again, which appeared to happen in 2017 cycle. And then things go down, and before we know it, we blink, we look back in the chart a few months and realize that we were in a bear market. So this chart used routinely, and it's a good reminder of the psychology matters, because crypto really, and stocks too, crypto significantly more so, is a popularity contest, right? The more people that comes in, buys a certain coin, it's going to go up, and that's all short term. In the bull run, we really just care about short term, at least the majority of us. I know I've got a couple followers here that are looking more at the long term, and this might not matter as much for you unless you want to try to get in at the best prices, which that's the case. You might not actually want to buy it all for about a year. Again, not financial advice. Nothing in this video or any of my videos ever are, but I digress. Do a little bit more about the bull run, because there's ways you can time it. Yes, it's going to be frantic. We don't actually know what coins are going to go up, but we do know they tend to go up in groups called narratives. At least that's the jargon we're going to use, meaning niches or certain categories. Again, if you're more familiar with stocks, there are things like medical-based stocks, tech stocks, gaming stocks, resources, healthcare, etc. Crypto is really not that much different, right? We just have different narratives. There's AI, there is DePIN, there is DeFi, there's RWA, there's layer ones, layer two, layer threes. There's all these little groupings. And one, I fully believe that we should diversify because, well, one, if you put all your eggs in one basket and that basket falls, you're screwed. But things shoot off at different times, meaning we will have one narrative that hits first. We already kind of did, or at least I consider we do. Maybe someone's arguing. I don't care. Argue in the comments below. I'll probably have a little verbal debate with you. But we had a small ISO rally, or the Dino Coin rally. This is where we call it ISO 22022, 20022. Numbers are confusing. I just stick with charts. So, but we had this rally of things like HBAR, XRP, Algorand, Cardano, Quant for a little bit. This really happened because there was a major catalyst. The SEC chair, Gary Gensler, who was essentially just suing everybody that he could to keep crypto down as well as possible, and it worked decently. As soon as it was announced he was leaving, these coins went up. XRP and HBAR went up 300 to 400% in a couple of days. It was less than a week. That was awesome if you were a holder of any of these coins. Power to us all for that one. But we don't know what the next narrative is going to be. We can guess. And really off of like Google Trends, we can guess what's the narratives are going to be big, and just really what everyone else is saying. Majority of people are saying that AI, DePIN, RWAs are going to be big. There's mixed opinions about gaming. And we'll kind of see. I fully believe RWAs are going to be big real world assets, things about tokenization. If you don't know what that is, tell me in the comments below you don't know what that is, because that could be another good topic for this Crypto Basics series. Let me know what you guys do know and don't know. I'll talk about it in more detail than you ever want to hear. It's fine. We'll get through this together. All right. So the bull run narratives. We're going to hit another one soon. Meme might have been, if you want to argue that memes were the first narrative to hit this bull run, I'm not going to argue. Behind Bitcoin, obviously, it starts it all. But we're going to see what's going to come in next. And the reason why this matters, let's go in a little bit more detail. All right. So whether we're talking about let's start with per narrative. Usually, when a narrative comes into play, there's a cascading effect as to where does the money go. So you can kind of guess because there's a pattern. If we find patterns, we can recognize it. we can do something and take advantage of it. So Bitcoin is always first. Again, everything follows Bitcoin for the most part. Right. So right now, Bitcoin keeps going up. There's attention about it. People are talking about it. There's rumors about the US government starting a Bitcoin reserve. That's bullish. More people will jump into it. I promise you, as much as I can, very confident on this one, that if President Trump says something about, yes, we're doing a Bitcoin reserve, you're going to see Bitcoin prices go straight up. Why? Why does it matter? Because the reserve means the government's going to be buying Bitcoin, which is going to push the price up. And just that statement is going to have retail, which is us, the individual investors, are going to be, oh, shit. A large body called a government is going to be buying a lot of Bitcoin. I should get into it. And it's going to drive the price up even higher. Eventually, people sell off Bitcoin because there are people and states and government agencies and large venture capitalists and firms that bought Bitcoin in the last bear market at 15 and 20,000 a pop. And you can bet your ass that they're going to be selling it at 5 to 7x when it hits 120, 140,000, which, depending on what they sell, it's going to bring it down. At that point, now there's emotion in the market. People are going to look at it, and one of two things are going to happen. People are going to get excited, and they're going to buy it at a lower price, instead of 120,000, maybe it's 110, and it goes up a little bit, or they're going to freak out and panic. They sell and it comes down. And when you sell a crypto, by you, I mean to generalize you, what do we typically do? We buy another crypto because why the hell not? It's fun, right? So people sell Bitcoin. It goes down. People panic. So more people sell Bitcoin. And you know what those first groups of people did? These whales are the market manipulators. All this money they got from Bitcoin, they put into something else. And that something else raises. And what happens is emotional response. Us retail sees, oh crap, Bitcoin's down. Coin A is now going up. Let's buy coin A. Goes up. And those people, those whales, the smart money that bought this coin A like a week ago after they sold their Bitcoin, is going to sell this coin. What does it do? And as we see it go down, some people will buy in thinking it's a good deal. Other people freak out and panic, and that coin goes down. And the cycle just continues going on. So it tends to happen with large caps first, meaning after Bitcoin starts coming down, usually the large market cap coins, Ethereum, Solana, probably XRP, well, if anything in the top 10 to 15, that's going to get more of the money coming in first. One, general pattern is what whales are going to do. Two, it's the ones that people have heard of. So if you're new to crypto or you've never been in crypto before, you've heard of Bitcoin. You might have heard of Solana, XRP, or Ethereum at this point just from the general news. So those are the ones we're going to buy next, just due to popularity. That goes up, and then people sell it off, and they move it down into smaller coins. We'll call it mid caps, maybe things under $1 billion market cap, and it just presses down that way. So that is the general how it comes up and down in a bull run. More so, I said this happens in narratives or waves, right? So maybe we had the ISO coins shoot up, and now then memes again, and maybe next it's going to be AI agents, and then maybe RWAs come in, and on each independent narrative, that high market cap, the cryptos that have higher market, more value, tend to go up first. So if the next, we'll say, narrative hypothetically is AI coins, you're going to see the larger AIs pump first. You might see like BitTensor Tau, Render, because they're on the higher end. They go up first. And they'll go up and they'll come down, and money will go into the smaller market caps of AI. Come up and come down, and then we blink a couple of times, and now we're in a different narrative, and it does the same thing. And we'll hit each narrative a couple of times. Don't think it's a one and done. It hasn't been so far when we've looked back at cycles. So we'll, like I said, we had an ISO one already. Again, HBAR, XRP, Quant, XLM, etc. We're gonna have another one again. You can even get ideas of when it might be, because I think I know when this one's going to be. I think it's going to be in March. Okay, real quick, why do I think it's going to be in March? Great question, everybody. These coins are waiting for regulation. They're essentially regulatory coins that can be used or presumably used by banks and government agencies for trading and transfers. And they're going to start regulations and talking about the laws and how are they going to regulate it in March. So there's going to be media attention. And I think that's going to be pushed off for this. So that's going to be exciting when it happens. So hopefully this makes a little sense as to how a bull run happens, why it occurs. But then the whole thing is, how does it end, right? I mean, if this sounds great and everything's going up, a lot of money coming in, how does it end? And the short answer is it's a little bit of the culture with crypto of we buy stuff low, let it go up, and then we just sell the shit out of it. And this is a standard behavior, and it might even be like a self-declared prophecy, meaning we all say it's going to happen because it's happened in the last 3 cycles, and it's going to happen again because we all say it's going to happen, so we're all going to do it. And I'm 100% in there. I'm going to sell every damn one of my crypto, except for if I don't sell all of my quants, I'm okay with that. I got prices set for them. I will sell if they hit these prices, but if they don't, I'm not going to get rid of them. I'll run for them for the next round. But I'm going to sell everything. It's my plan. Buy in as low as I can, DCA to keep the average down and get more coins. And then when it's starting to go up, I sell it at a profit of my goal is on average around a 10x. So I'm selling things between 5 and 15x. And this way I'm not too greedy. I think I'm realistic. I'll find out real soon. And click my funds, save it. And then in the bear market, I put more in. And so many people are going to do this. Every year or every cycle, altcoins drop by about 75 to 95+%, meaning a lot do disappear. There are so many crypto. We're not going to see all the crypto that are here now. A lot of them are going to be dead in a year from now, maybe a year and a half, depending. That's because we're just going to sell it all. We all want to make money. We're all not going to, but that's the goal. That's the plan. So at some point, we're going to sell and we see it go down, and that's going to make more people sell because it's going down. People get scared and it crashes. That's how a bear market comes into play. And when that comes in, you can bet your greedy little palms I'm going to use mine and scoop up a lot of crypto at the lowest prices possible when everyone is fighting it, having fear, uncertainty, and doubt, talking about how crypto is dead, it's never going to go anywhere. Why did Donald Trump and everyone else who believe in crypto believe in crypto? And it'll be like that for about a year or two. It happened before, it happened before that. It's going to happen again. Now, real quick, because you might hear people say that this isn't going to happen again, it's going to be different, because there are different things, and that's true. There are different things. I fully believe there's going to be another bear market, another bull market. However, typically, I believe on average, Bitcoin drops 72% from its all-time high of wherever it is that goes, and then comes down in the bear market. I don't think it's going to drop that much this time. I would say probably closer to 40 to 55%, because now there's EFTs and people are building reserves. So there's going to be large corporations, individuals with their Roth IRA, all these different reserves. We constantly buying it. So I do think it's going to keep it a little bit more steady. But I think that's Bitcoin. Even worst case, if it happens to a couple of the other large crypto that have high market caps, it's not going to happen to all of them. Like, who the hell is going to put an EFT into, fart coin? Please, dear God, do not let there be an EFT of fart coin. Could you imagine? For those you know what it is, it's a meme called fart coin, and it has a higher market cap than a lot of my crypto, which is ridiculous. But anyway, that was the short of what a bull run is. We are in it right now, and it comes down to your own belief. So gather knowledge, information to see what you believe, and when in doubt, play it safe, because at some point this party's going to end. But let me know in your comments below if you agree with me as to where we are in a bull run, and what do you think should be the next one, the next narrative to burst? And if you don't know, like I don't know, nor does anybody, good reason to have a little bit of crypto diversified in a couple different spots so you're ready for it. So if you've already hung out this long, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and talk to me. Let me hear from you in the comments below about anything, and just especially about this Crypto Basics series. What do you want to know? Is there anything that you're like, I have no idea what the hell this guy was talking about? Insert topic, and I'll ramble on about it and hopefully get you understand it a little bit better. If not, you can yell about me in the comments below how it doesn't work. I am out. Thank you, everybody. Peace.